Hey guys, JasonLeeno here. Today's video is going to be kind of a training update, but it's actually more of an overview of my next training journey. And today I wanted to just talk to you quickly about the training program, or training principles of Fifth Set. Now this is a program that was made by a gentleman named Swede Burn. He is a competitive powerlifter slash coach for about 20 plus years. Was voted 2016's Powerlifting Coach of the Year. So he has amazing credentials. Funny story though about this is I've never heard of the guy. I know I'm not the craziest fitness YouTuber, but I've been doing this for a pretty long time, and I'm searching new things on a pretty regular basis. And until recently, due to Elite FTS podcast, I had no idea about Fifth Set or even about Swede Burn, which is kind of weird, but that just might mean that I depend way too much on Google. But that's enough said. I am super happy that I stumbled across that podcast and basically learned some of the teachings of Swede Burn in regards to Fifth Set. So to just quickly talk to you about the program, the way it works is it's on a macrocycle scale. So you'll have your 6 microcycles for your first mesocycle, and there'll be 3 mesocycles per macrocycle, and then concluding into usually a meet. Now, you don't have to do a meet per se, but that's what Fifth Set is all about. It is to prepare you to compete. It's not like your fancy 6-week squat program or your quick small off junior to a big bench or anything like that. It is to essentially train you smartly and efficiently, in his words, to compete. Now, this is different from what I'm used to doing, just because lately I've been hitting it pretty hard. This is kind of going back into what some would consider a bit of a novice state, so training less days, I guess in comparison to what I did in the past, less intensity to get the biggest bang for the buck. Now, I can agree to a certain extent, just because in my past, I've always struggled with recovery. As you guys know, I've been battling with issues for a long time, hence why I haven't competed in a long time. So I'm definitely approaching this pretty open-armed for the next approach to see where it goes, because from what I've read in the book and from, listening to podcasts and things of that nature, it makes sense. So to kind of give you the structure in a nutshell is you'll start off in your microcycles, usually with like a 70% range going into an 80% range. The full details are actually in the book, which I highly recommend you guys just pick up and read. But just for discretion, we'll say 70 to 80%. You'll do 4 sets of 2, and then on your 5th set, you will do an ANRAP. Now, this is based off of your 3 main compound movements, so squat, bench, and deadlift, and then you pretty much just go from there. The progression's pretty easy as well. If you manage to get at least 3 on your ANRAP of your 3 lifts, you will then go up by 5 pounds until you eventually get to a deloading cycle, which you will then move on to your next mesocycle. Pretty straightforward. Might be a little lower on the volume side, which people have argued in the past about other programs like 5x5, 5-through-1, things of that. However, there is a little bit more to it. I can assure you, because I have been doing it for a little bit now, that there are additional hypertrophy days, technique days. They do emphasize a lot on the fundamental of the movements, and so you can just follow along and watch what I do, and then you'll eventually see the progress that I potentially will make, or you can just buy the book. It's not that expensive. I've purchased plenty of training programs and online trainers, and quite frankly, it's probably on the cheaper end, so I would recommend that. Or if you really want, and it's probably it's probably the best idea to do, if you want to know the basic fundamentals of 5th set training, just listen to the Elite FTS podcast with Swede Burn. He pretty much goes over every single thing for free, and you could get a pretty decent method for nothing. So I would highly recommend that. But I do want to say, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I know I've been very sparse lately when it comes to actually putting up footage, but honestly, come on, guys, you know what I've been going through. It's hard to stay motivated in a certain extent. how many videos can I make basically saying I'm injured, right? So I'm trying my best to get through that. I am seeing some progress, hence why I'm kind of being a little bit more consistent with videos and with any general social media uploads. And then hopefully 2020 will finally be that year where I step back on the platform once again, just for the sake of competing. I don't care about goals or anything like that. If I can make it healthy to a meet, that is the best thing that I can hope for. But guys, that's the video. So do me a favor, go down below, drop me some comments because I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you feel that I went a little too quickly through this and didn't really give you a little bit more details, message me down below. I will share things with you a little bit more if you really want. But like I said, however, it is kind of something that should be purchased to only be fair. But with that being said, I've always been willing to help out. So you know it is. And other than that, hit the like, share, and subscribe to spread that love. And I will see you next time.